December 1st, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. Dear children, you are beginning to see a change in motives of actions in your government, from one of self-serving ambition to one of concern for the welfare of the people. When the government acts in a Christian way, the same attitude trickles down to the general public. You will have in the near future leaders who listen to you and act on your concerns. The integrity of your nation as a whole will be fortified as a result. It is far different to be living under a government you can trust to make fair and honest decisions than to subject to leaders following a one-way path into the New World Order. Nations that concede to affiliating with the One World Order will find their sovereignty slip away, along with their voice in government matters. The leader who will rise to power from their midst will be the Antichrist. Many will be deluded by his signs and wonders. Hold yourselves aloof from this. Stay close to me in simplistic humility. Dear children, you were chosen to live in these times, to be a sign of truth amidst confusion and hypocrisy. Pray to me, pray to be my instruments in every present moment. A note is given to read 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, 9 through 12. The coming of the lawless one by the activity of Satan will be with all power, and with pretended signs and wonders, and with all wicked deception for those who are to perish, because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. Therefore God sends upon them a strong delusion, to make them believe what is false, so that all may be condemned who did not believe the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Scripture verses asked to be read by Mary, Refuge of Holy Love. December 2nd, 2016, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. Continue to choose truth over compromise. When a soul or a nation tries to redefine truth, distance is placed between himself or the nation and God's will. This is how authority is abused and whole nations are misled. This is why you have confusion and lack of direction in the world. This is why your nation has become like a broken vessel, which must be returned to the potter for repair. Nations and the world can be united without submitting to a global government. A one-world government invites evil into leadership. The world can pull out of this downward spiral away from God by uniting in holy love. That is the unity I have come to inspire and encourage. December 2nd, 2016. Jesus is here with his heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, continue in your efforts to pray for the heart of your nation, that it become a sign of Christian morals and values in this evil age, thereby an example for other nations to emulate. Tonight, I'm blessing you with my blessing of divine love. December 3rd, 2016. I am your Jesus, born incarnate. I continue these messages here as a pulpit for the truth. In the world there are many whose role is to define sin and support good, but they fail to do so. They may be in prominent positions as religious leaders, but they place popularity above leadership in the truth. Their titles are deceptive and garner much influence over many. As it is, I continue to lead you along the path of holy love, the certain way of salvation. Do not falter in your journey due to lack of approvals from others. Many like criticisms were lodged against me when I was in the world. Persevere. December 4th, 2016. I am your Jesus, born incarnate. I caution you, there are outside agitators investing in promoting dissent in your country. They do not want your president-elect to be strong in his leadership. Their motive is to confuse the people and eventually lure your nation into the one world order. But their tactics do not stop at promoting unrest. They hope to weaken the money system. With a weakened economy, your country would have less influence worldwide. You can see that these agendas have already been promoted by your current administration. I tell you solemnly not to support good strengthens evil. You cannot stand idly by trying to decide if you should support the new president or not. Once again I remind you, not to choose is to choose. Your nation will be as strong as the unity of its citizens behind your new president. December 4th, 2016, St. Joseph is here and says, Praise be to Jesus. During this season of Advent, prepare your hearts with holy love for the coming of Jesus. Let your hearts become as little stables, little chapels of love, ready to welcome him. Each family, then, will be like little chapels of holy love. Tonight, I am extending to you my fatherly blessing. December 5th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. Your president-elect is now surrounded with good angels. This makes it easier for good and sound decisions to be made. It was not and is not so with your current president, who opened himself up to much evil due to lack of wise discernment. That was obvious. Pray that he does not use his last days in office towards further detriment of the country. There are many choices as yet to be made. Unite in prayer that each decision is wrapped in holy love. The more your government reflects holy love, the more God will protect it. Much protection is needed, as there is much evil all around that you do not see nor anticipate. No matter the situation, I am your refuge, your strength. When agendas lie hidden in hearts, it is a certainty evil is at play. Beware of guile and manipulation. Look for simplicity and humility first, and then it is safe to trust. Persevere in praying for holy wisdom in your leaders. December 5th, 2016. Jesus is here with his heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, tonight as you finish the rosary, you are prepared to celebrate the season together. I will celebrate with you. I will celebrate the many lives in the womb and souls that have been saved because of your prayers. Return here often to pray. I need the sacrifices. Tonight, I'm blessing you with my blessing of divine love. December 6th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. You are asking me if Donald Trump is in danger. Of course, there is always danger when a person is in such high profile. Furthermore, as Mr. Trump represents change which many object to, he is even more the target. However, do not discount God's divine providence and the workings of grace. God weaves all things together to make the beautiful tapestry of his will. Therefore, even the distorted thinking of a few radicals becomes less of a threat than you may imagine. Mr. Trump is courageous and very outspoken. All of this is necessary to the changes upcoming that he proposes. It is good to pray for his protection, but do not let it become a distraction. December 7th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. Dear children, continue to pray in earnest for President-elect Trump. He will be making life-changing decisions in the future, and decisions which will affect the future of the world. Pray that his heart, his conscience, is guided in holy love, for this is the way to peace. Prosperity is not only economic growth, it is the sense of security and well-being emanating from strong leadership. Leadership that is not full of self-interest, but the welfare of those he leads. In today's world, peace can only be assured through military power. Therefore, it is good to support a stronger military. To appear weak invites danger and aggression on the part of any enemy. The enemy of all peace is radical Islamic terrorism. This evil hides in hearts and then spills out into the world. Be watchful for any one individual or group of people who show sympathy towards such beliefs. I am praying with you. I am enthusiastic about many aspects of this country's future. You are under my mantle of protection. December 8th, 2016, the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Our Lady comes radiant, all in white. She says, "Praise be to Jesus." I wish her a happy feast day. She smiles and nods. She says, "Today especially I point out that your nation is under my protection in this title, Immaculate Conception. Your national shrine and your country have been dedicated to my Immaculate Conception. So it is I remind you that I defended your nation against the tyranny of British rule in the Revolutionary War. Years later, I held this nation together during the Civil War, when the sin of slavery threatened to divide it. Most recently, I defended your nation against the tyranny of an administration that had no regard of the democratic process or the Constitution. Now I am holding together your country as it struggles with the division of liberal versus conservative, essentially evil versus good. In each of these cases, the people had to realize the problems they faced or are facing, unite, and seek a remedy. I pray this will be so today. The enemy is always on the prowl and seeking ways to confuse and destroy good. He often comes clothed in good, but conceals his agenda. So today I pray that all truth is victorious. I thank God for this mission and its fruits. Continue to pray for my guidance. December 9th, 2016. I am your Jesus, born incarnate. The future of your country and the welfare of its citizens no longer rests on the political guile of a few powerful politicians. Politics will no longer be the game caller, as your nation will be led by common sense and wisdom. This is a breath of fresh air for a nation so controlled by the whims of the establishment, who held in their hearts the path into globalization. The globalization I call for is worldwide holy love. This is the ideal that will bring world peace. December 11th, 2016. Jesus is here with his heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, please understand and accept in your hearts that peace and holy love are never separated. When you live in holy love, you will be at peace. Tonight, I'm blessing you with my blessing of divine love. December 12th, 2016. The Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Blessed Mother is here as Our Lady of Guadalupe. She says, praise be to Jesus. This country is so fortunate that it is returning to its traditional values, which it was founded on. In the Church, however, traditions are slipping away and not stressed. This is being accomplished in an insidious way, under the guise of bringing souls back to the faith. But what faith are they returning to? The real presence, sin, and personal holiness are not stressed. The commandments are not valued. Few there are who keep holy the Sabbath. Mass media supports every type of sinful behavior and is not challenged from the pulpit. When I appeared to Juan Diego centuries ago, the Protestant Reformation was underway. Today, I tell you, many Protestants have stronger faith and love of God than many cradle Catholics. My image on the tilma, which has not deteriorated, does not reflect the faith in hearts which has ebbed away. These things are generally not spoken of so as to save feelings and not make anyone uncomfortable. I come as your loving mother during this age of confusion, to help you to recognize the truth. There are two churches in what is known as the Catholic faith. One supports tradition. The other confuses its followers by fringing on new rules and definitions, but not quite endorsing them. The time fast approaches when these two will be even more visible. Dear children, you have heard me say often that what is in hearts then spills out into the world. Every evil is formed first in the heart. This is also true of good, as was proven in the most current presidential election. The people were tired of corruption, dishonesty, and disordered control, and they chose otherwise. The good fruits of this will be apparent soon. I desire you understand the term globalization. It means to unite and spread something worldwide. This is good if it is holy love, which I desire people be united in worldwide. However, there is an evil globalization being promoted by those of great influence these days. It would unite all governments and open the door to an Antichrist as the leader. I urge you to pray for discernment so that you are not tricked by false signs and promises. When you come here to this site, you will receive the properties of discernment, which, if put to good use, will help you to decide good over evil. Dear children, I come to you today as the Virgin of Guadalupe. I invite you to realize that every problem, every confusion, and each situation is matched with God's grace. It is up to the soul to cooperate with the graces given. The greatest of all graces is God's mercy, which is offered at the last moment of every soul's life. The repentant heart should always have hope then. Dear children, once again, this evening I urge you to pray often for the welfare of your new administration. Those who oppose the changes that are in the works are not above criminal acts. I count on your prayers to bring my protection upon the administration. I'm taking your petitions with me to heaven this evening, and will place them on the altar of my Son's most sacred heart. To all here present, I'm extending my blessing of holy love. December 13th, 2016, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. This is the season of joyful anticipation as you await the celebration of my coming to earth and arrival in the stable. This year, however, this country can also celebrate the arrival of a new regime in Washington with the coming inauguration of a new president. I will celebrate with you, as hopefully this will draw to a close an amoral era in your nation. It is not wise to give blanket approval to just any refugee. Many come looking helpless, but in their hearts hold evil plans. There are many already here whose presence bears the possibility of grave consequences. Future natural disasters will be handled more appropriately under new leadership. Social unrest will be less important and less of a threat, as outside influence will be disarmed. Let this be a season of hope, for I am hoping with you. December 14th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. When you go out into the world, you must first take into account the weather and dress appropriately. You have different coats providing adequate insulation against the cold. So it is in the spiritual world. The soul faces many dangers and threats to his well-being. His insulation or protection is prayer. Sometimes he may need many prayers to ward off evil, but always prayer is his blanket of protection. The muffler and mittens you wear provide added protection. In the spiritual world, the muffler and mittens would be the prayers of others, all needed and greatly missed if they are not added. Do not go unprotected in the icy cold world today, whose biting chill wind arises from unprecedented evil schemes. Draw upon God's protection and pray, pray, pray. December 15th, 2016, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. What causes disunity in hearts and in the world is people's inability to distinguish good from evil. These apparitions come to you to help you make these decisions, good as opposed to evil. My call throughout the ages has been to be united in good. Holy love defines good, and therefore defines evil as well. It is Satan's intent to confuse the difference between good and evil, and therefore cause conflict in choice and opinions. These conflicting opinions are what causes tension between people and nations. Guard your hearts with a firm knowledge of holy love. This knowledge, if translated into words and actions, is my victory. December 16th, 2016, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. I tell you solemnly, everything I have created is coming together now, either to aid my victory or to oppose it. Events are moving quickly to a head and unfolding through good and strong leadership and poor and weak leadership. I am impressing upon the hearts of those who follow me the urgency of these times and the importance of their unwavering unity. Your strength is in unity of purpose. Do not allow Satan his hour of division, turning good against good. From the most desperate situation in the Middle East, to the confusion within church leadership, to the mighty resurrection of this nation, I am aware of your every need. I am with you. December 16th, 2016. Jesus is here with his heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, place all your petitions and needs in my divine heart. It is in my heart you will find strength and courage. I will listen to your needs and your petitions. I may even grant the miraculous according to my Father's will. Tonight, I'm blessing you with my blessing of divine love. December 17th, 2016, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. While the malcontents continue to challenge Mr. Trump's victory, real problems are arising due to your sitting president's inaction and lack of leadership. I am speaking, of course, of the collapse in the Middle East, mainly Aleppo. Many are suffering grave difficulties which could have been avoided with a little effort on the part of Mr. Obama. Now you need to unite in prayer for the survival of the victims. I do not suggest that you open the borders of your country and invite all the victims in. I do suggest some arrangement be made in close proximity to where the victims are that would be a safe haven? Where is the UN in this? In holy love, we must not stand idly by and watch such suffering. Lack of action has resulted in the present situation. The blood is on the hands of those who could have helped, but chose to lead from behind. December 18th, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. You will always have in your midst wars and the threat of wars, pending economic collapse, and the ill choices of poor leadership. These realities are no reason to lose hope or to cease trusting in the Lord. God places in the world strategic remedies that guide and support you through every challenge. Sometimes it comes through people. Other times certain and profound graces unfold as solutions, such as this ministry. If you trust, you will readily see the ways God is leading you. Learn to depend on God, His grace, and not so much your own efforts apart from God. The Father is knitting every one of your prayers, sacrifices, and efforts together into a fine tapestry, a work of art that in heaven you can present to Him. Every stitch is a present moment in time. December 19th, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. Every season carries with it certain characteristics. In your part of the world it is the season of winter, which bears cold and snow. In your country you are entering the season of hope through profound change. For those who believe in and accept this change, there is peace and joy. Today I come once again seeking the season of holy love in hearts. The acceptance of holy love is the stumbling block that prevents such a victory. Acceptance is easy if self-love is conquered. Unlike the season of snow, which is God's natural provision, a season of holy love is accepted or rejected by man himself. Satan does not want your peace, and therefore attacks your acceptance of holy love at every opportunity. Do not be unsuspecting, but be watchful of who and what circumstances oppose holy love in your heart. The hearts who abide in holy love are my army of believers whom I count on in these final hours, this season of preparation of my Son's return. A note is given to read 2 Timothy chapter 2:13. If we are faithless, He remains faithful, for He cannot deny Himself. Scripture verses asked to be read by Mary, Refuge of Holy Love. December 19th, 2016. Jesus is here with His heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, as you prepare your hearts for this Christmas, make of them little mangers, each straw being a new prayer or sacrifice. Pray for the liberals, that they recognize the great compromise of their positions. Truth cannot be compromised in such a way. Tonight, I am extending to you my blessing of divine love. December 20th, 2016. I am your Jesus, born incarnate. The collapse of the economy in other countries can have an effect upon the economy in your own nation. Even though your president-elect will take positive steps in strengthening this nation's economy, no nation can thrive independently from every other country. Therefore, when you pray for the economic well-being of all nations. Pray that a global economy does not take control of much of the world, plunging it into the whims of one leader. December 22nd, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. This season you are in is a season of love, peace, and joy. These days, however, mankind searches out love, peace, and joy in all the wrong ways. He seeks fulfillment in his own will, not in loving and accepting God's will. This is the way the enemy has infiltrated governments, religions, and inspired every sort of action contrary to holy love. The competitive world promotes success in worldly ways. In Jesus' eyes, success is in littleness, hiddenness. The world opposes genuine virtue and supports the disingenuous in the forms of guile and secret agendas. These are always accepted through self-love. The more the soul can die to self, the more he will be at peace. The more he will experience the love and joy deep within that only God can give. This peace is genuine, unflappable, and unprovoked by any problem. It does not come to you through anything the world holds dear. December 23rd, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. Dear children, as this celebration in commemoration of the birth of my Son draws near, I invite you to search your hearts for anything that may stand between your heart and the heart of God. Are you consumed with self-concern or concern for the welfare of others? Do you hold a disordered love of the world, created and natural things, in your heart, or do you love God first? Do you waver in trust when God seeks your trust? I cannot answer any of these questions for you. Ask the Lord in prayer to place the truth in your heart so that you can be closer to Jesus on Christmas Day. December 23rd, 2016. Jesus is here with his heart exposed. He says, I am your Jesus, born incarnate. My brothers and sisters, the inner recesses of my heart hold a special place for each one of you. The entrance to these secret places is holy love. Tonight, I'm blessing you with my blessing of divine love. December 24th, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. On that night so long past, we traveled away from family and friends into the unknown. Where would we stay? What if the God-child within me was born so far from home? All of these anxieties were temptations not to trust. We just kept moving along in God's will until we reached Bethlehem. Moment by moment these events unfolded, not as we wanted or expected, but according to God's plan. Joseph was a stalwart source of strength, and I could feel St. Gabriel's presence. Many angels accompanied us. We accepted every closed door and every no, just as Jesus today accepts the closed doors of hearts. Make room for him in your hearts this Christmas Eve. Open the door of your heart and invite him in. He awaits your invitation. December 25th, 2016, Christmas. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. When my divine Son's presence filled the manger, our dank surroundings faded from sight. No more chill or damp encompassed us. No more foul odors filled the air. There was a soft light that embraced the manger and a brighter light all around him. Joseph and I felt deep and abiding peace, love, and joy. The manger became a pulpit bespeaking alliance with God's will, humility, love, and simplicity. This is the environment the shepherds stepped into. Immediately, they knew this was no ordinary babe. This is the atmosphere which the angels hovered over, always adoring the incarnate Word. These days my Son is still with you in the Eucharist. So many do not accept this grace, and his love goes unattended. His presence in the Eucharist is a great treasure, which if acknowledged in truth, could still change many events yet to come. This Christmas, Jesus, Joseph, and I are with you, dear children, in many unexpected ways. Look with the eyes of grace. December 26th, 2016. The Blessed Virgin Mary says, "Praise be to Jesus." Blessed Mother comes holding baby Jesus. He has 2 fingers up as though giving a blessing. Our Lady says, "My Son came into the world to reign over good and evil, rich and poor, those who live in holy love and those who do not. Mankind's acceptance or rejection of his dominion does not alter that. He holds in his tiny heart the resolution to every mystery known to man. However, these answers elude those who trust too much in human effort and not in humble submission to their Creator. The one who created everything came into the world without fanfare, in squalor, yet transformed the hearts of millions. His birth and his life did not fit into the social character of the times or reflect the kingship of his dominion. Yet in living in the truth without compromise, he fulfilled his holy mission. Today he comes to bless every effort in holy love. Pray for all unbelievers that they accept the miracle of his birth and live in holy love, which is the truth. December 27th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, "Praise be to Jesus." Please comprehend that the abuse of authority and the compromise of truth, which make my Son's heart mournful, are set in place by the abuse of free will. It is through the abuse of free will that man chooses to redefine God's laws to suit his own purposes. The liberals choose to take life from the womb, act out against law and order, and endanger the security of this country with open borders. My Son will not interfere with free will decisions, but I tell you many slip to their perdition due to their choices. It is of no account that these people think they are right in their thinking. God has given them the commandments and holy love to help them on the path of salvation. In the final judgment, it is Jesus' opinion which counts. The abuse of free will has taken place since the beginning of time. However, these days, liberalism has taken over more hearts than ever before, due to modern forms of communications. This is why the situation is even more desperate than Sodom and Gomorrah. December 28th, 2016, Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, "Praise be to Jesus." I invite you to understand that free will is the doorway to sanctity or to sin. The conscience is the deciding factor which determines the use of free will. It can be likened to a car. The driver would be the conscience, and the car would be free will, which goes where it is made to go. It is the conscience which chooses the truth or tries to redefine truth to please himself, thereby altering free will choices. God does not interfere in free will choices. He offers his commandments. grace and holy love to help the soul determine the right path to follow, the path of truth and righteousness. If the conscience is well formed, that is, grounded in holy love, the soul will not be opened to compromise, and his free will choices will be salvific. December 29th, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. So it is that whatever the conscience accepts as truth is like a rudder on a ship, propelling the soul along the path of truth or the compromise of truth. These days, whole nations and ideologies have compromised truth as their foundation. The laws of a nation are a reflection of the conscience of the nation. Selfish ambition on the part of lawmakers often thwarts the victory of truth. When mankind received the commandments, he received the truth of the way God wanted him to live. Any variance from the commandments written in stone is compromise. The foundation, the conscience of every nation, should be grounded on these commandments. December 30th, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. These days, Satan is vengeful against all those who prayed Mr. Trump into office. Therefore, stand guard over your hearts and know that the grace of my heart will see you through every situation. Avoid discouragement, judging others, and false accusations. In all ways put on holy love, which personifies patience and gentleness. Do not allow problems to consume you and to defeat your trust in my grace. Every situation is a new opportunity for you to show your love and trust in me, and for me to demonstrate the power of my grace. Therefore, be at peace in the midst of problems and victories. December 31st, 2016. Mary, Refuge of Holy Love, says, Praise be to Jesus. The success of any government depends upon its adherence to the truth of man's dependency upon God. All events are under God's domain, from the smallest to the greatest. While sincere efforts towards peaceful solutions may be made, any effort not grounded in holy love will fail. Mankind needs to place God back in the center of his heart and the center of the universe. Actual truth is recognized in a sincere effort to please God. As it is, man makes every problem bigger than God and resolves issues many times with a sense of hopelessness. Lack of trust does not please God and weakens every prayer effort. On this eve, dawning on a new year, take heed.